Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope everyone out there is doing better than fantastic. And again, I want to thank everyone for their support of this channel. Each and every day, I see new people subscribing, and they let me know their thoughts and experiences regarding narcissistic abuse and narcissism in general. The cat is out of the bag, so to speak. And though society at large isn't having this conversation out in the open about what narcissism, or should I say the many shapes and sizes of narcissism really is, and how it can oftentimes be covered. Very covered indeed. Where it can even fool the so-called wises of the wise. So much so, you might not know you've been had until a great many years later. But we are having these talks. And there are others out there as well. And they are spreading the word. And with each and every day, the numbers are growing. People are waking up. And that's a good thing. But like I said yesterday, we have a long way to go. But still and yet, the strides we are making are something to be happy about. Because even if one person can get free of this mess and live a happy, healthy, productive life, then it's all worth it. Now, with that being said, I do want to get on with the video topic. Narcissists. Therapy and narcissistic supply. You see, yesterday I mentioned in my video how my narcissist golden child brother goes to therapy or counseling. And this brought up the topic of narcissists don't seek therapy. And I will have to say to that the better way to understand it is long-term. Or in my brother's case, likely the short-term and long-term combined. He doesn't admit any truths. And how do I know this? Because he tells everyone he sees all about his therapy. And he tells them how I'm the cause of his problems. So I'm going to make a safe guess that I get blamed heavily for all of his problems. You see, narcissists don't outright seek help to get better. This is very true. Because they have to understand they are the problem to get to that point. And because most narcissists can't self-reflect, there is little chance that they will ever sincerely reach out for assistance and help in order to change their life for the better. Just as an example, narcissists will go to couples therapy quite often. At least the covered ones. And they see it as a great test of skill. So they can see if they can turn this therapist or counselor against their spouse, and get them to side with them. It's been said in the narcissistic abuse community for years. Dealing with a narcissist in court and in couples therapy can be very, very horrible for the other spouse that is there trying to seek answers and get help. And a narcissist isn't there to save their marriage or relationship. They are there to get maximum narcissistic supply. And they get a great joy out of duping strangers along with people they know. They also love to dupe people that are supposedly very smart in their field. They have a bunch of degrees in this field of behavioral studies and such. And they get a big charge at convincing this smart person that they are truly the victim and the spouse they are with is really the terrible one causing all of the problems. And then you have my brother. You see, when growing up, I thought other families' members, aunts, uncles, cousins, I thought they lived a very special and great life. And I thought what I was going through was unique and I was alone. Because you see, my mother was a combination of an overt and a covert narcissist. And other family members were covert, as I found out later in life. My mother could con a great many people very covertly. But she was outwardly strange to where you knew there was something wrong with her. And quite early on in life, my mother would test us to see who she would slate as the scapegoat and who would go along with her con. And in the test, my brother won the role of golden child. and I won the role as scapegoat. And as time went on, there were short moments when these roles shifted. But for majority of the time, I was the scapegoat and my brother was the golden child. My mother made it her job to ruin as many friendships with people that we would make. She worked super hard to keep us in a very strange surrounding so we would have a very hard time coping in society. I was able to break free. But my brother didn't. My brother is a very strange and odd man. Awkwardly so. And literally all he has is going from one organization to the next seeking so-called help for how his brother, me so-called, wrecked his life. And how his mother was a saint. How do I know this? My brother is a chronic oversharer. He speaks fast and likes to share everything he can with people in order to get them to feel bad for him. And his situation. Apparently my brother has gone through dozens of counselors and therapists. Why? I don't know exactly why because I'm not there. But if I were to guess, he gets these therapists going and believing his fantasy life and what he says happened for a while. But then when they work to help him better his life, or they challenge him in a certain way, he likely experiences narcissistic injury. He realizes they see right through him and he's on to the next therapist. You see, my brother doesn't have much of a life. He doesn't have real friends. Yes, he tells anyone that will listen about things that aren't true. But he has no real friends. And he has no real life. All he has is being a victim. And if he were to say the truth about what happened to us, he would have to take the next step and work on bettering himself. And that's not what he wants to do. He wants to keep it going and going and going. Because it's the only source of narcissistic supply he has. So will a narcissist go to therapy for real help? I would say it's highly unlikely. But will they go to one to get narcissistic supply? Yes. There are therapists and counselors that have said, before they were experienced in this field of narcissism, they had seen some people for like 10 years before they realized who and what they were. And some had to refuse to stop seeing certain clients because they realized after a few years that they weren't there to get help. They were there to spin lies and get supply by having someone else believe them. And this shows you how powerful narcissistic supply is to these people. They will do anything to get it. There are some that will go donate time and build houses for the poor in order to figure out a way to get narcissistic supply from it. Because they know there are well-meaning people that might be there doing such a thing too. And they can rope them into one of their con stories. And if my brother wasn't overtly strange and awkward, he would do such a thing. But because he doesn't fit into society very well, his only real means of narcissistic supply is his counseling along with new people that find themselves around him. Until they get fed up and leave. And I'm going to guess a great many situations with his many counselors went that way as well. Either he was challenged and had a narcissistic injury and left. Or they threw their hands up and said, I can't help you anymore because you don't want help. These are pure guesses. But I think they are good guesses. But again, let that sink in regarding how important narcissistic supply is for these people and what things they will do to get it. It's really, really sad. And I feel bad. This is now my brother's life and it's all he has. It truly makes me feel very, very terrible. Which is another topic for another video. But I think you know what I mean. Well, that's all I have for now. I would like to know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section below. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.